Triple H has spoken about the WWE's women's division, and I found this super interesting. Triple H would talk about the women's division now receiving equal opportunities, better storylines, etc., which of course he's not wrong. Back in the day, it would be bra and panties matches or pillow fights, for example. He also came across genuinely happy to talk about the fact that male fans support female talent and female fans support female talent and male talent. It's all over the place nowadays, and the women are truly equal. But something he said really got me thinking. He said that women will receive a main event if the storyline calls for it to be the main event. Well, right now it's WrestleMania season, and the last couple of years we've seen women win the Royal Rumble, go to WrestleMania, and not be put in a main event position. Subsequently, we can argue, okay, what did main event night 1 of WrestleMania both years actually make sense with what Triple H said? It deserved to main event. But surely that's because you're the booker and you've given these storylines to the men and not the women. For example, if Stephanie McMahon returned to WWE and asked Tiffany Stratton for her soul and instead sided with, I don't know, Becky Lynch, who sold her soul, and we set up Becky versus Tiffany in the same way we've set up Cody versus Cena, surely that would be main event worthy, right? While I do believe the WWE women's division is super entertaining, it's super good, and mostly deserves a lot of the main event spots, Triple H hasn't given them the stories for him to then put them in the main event spot, and I don't like that, and I'll call it out. We did hear earlier this week that WWE could be planning Evolution 2. This news comes from bodyslam.net, who says that the event could be planned for July this year. So that's very interesting. It was actually in 2018 that WWE presented its first all-women's premium live event. We know and we've spoken about the fact that Bayley, amongst others, has been a huge advocate for bringing back an all-women's premium live event, and Evolution 2 could be coming soon. I think this is about time. I think the female talent is stacked in WWE. Let's give them a show, because then we get weeks of build to make that show. And honestly, bringing up people like Julia and Stephanie and Cora Jade and other people from NXT, I think it would be really well done. So some John Cena news, and that is that Saturday night's main event on May 24th. Well, currently, John Cena is advertised. Bigger news, though, coming out earlier today. The first SmackDown after WrestleMania, April 25th. I love that date. John Cena will be on that first SmackDown post-WrestleMania. Does this mean anything? Some people will say no. Some people will instantly say yes. And that means that John Cena could potentially win his 17th World Championship to literally become the greatest of all time. That remains to be seen at WrestleMania, but something that's looking more and more likely is Rey Fenix debuting very soon in the WWE. We know that Rey recently got his release from AEW at last, and of course we've heard that WWE has already drafted up some merchandise ideas, things like that. Well, some news out today from PW Insider states that Rey Fenix could be set to debut shortly after the European tour ends. That ends at the end of the month, so potentially a couple of weeks before Mania, Rey Fenix arrives in WWE. News also out there from PWN that Aleister Black, Malakai Black, is coming to WWE, and his brand has been revealed as Friday Night SmackDown. As stated, no real shock with Zelina Vega moving over to SmackDown 2. Obviously, WWE do try to incorporate couples to be on the same brand when possible, so makes a lot of sense. While we're looking ahead, though, don't forget this is a huge week for WWE, with Raw emanating from Madison Square Garden. You have a steel cage match between Seth and CM Punk. That's going to be intense, isn't it? Also, on Tuesday, NXT presents Roadblock from New York City. This is going to be fun. Lots of huge matches here, including the Hardys and Fraxium. But of course, champion versus champion, title versus title, Julia versus Stephanie. I can't wait for this one. We also had news today from Fightful Select that Meiko Satomura will be in New York for NXT Roadblock. Absolutely no idea if she's going to be part of the show or not, but it's worth mentioning that Meiko Satomura is set to retire April 29th of this year. So could she be here to set up a retirement match? Maybe at Stand and Deliver, one last big match for Meiko in WWE? Very possibly. We have to keep an eye out and see what happens. And then Friday, well, we go across to Barcelona, Spain as the WWE European Tour kicks off. Lots to look forward to next week. Revealed yesterday and announced again on SmackDown, the WWE Hall of Fame latest inductee for the class of 2025, Lex Luger. So well deserved. Lex Luger, a huge part of WWE, played a massive role in WCW, a legend. And honestly, great to see him going into the Hall of Fame. Some huge Netflix news now announced last night by Triple H. Starting April 1st this year, WWE will arrive on Netflix in India. This is massive. We know that some of these massive shows for WWE do massive numbers in India. This is just before WrestleMania, so WWE looking to score some big viewership there. This will include, just like most international deals, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and all premium live events. So big news for the Indian market. And also it just reminds us that WWE isn't available yet worldwide in every single market. It will be probably when TV deals expire, but this just shows you it's not yet. I gotta mention this, and shout out to Wrestle Features who showed this on Twitter. The new main event, Jey Uso t-shirt. And I agree with what they said. This is probably one of Jey's best t-shirts. I really love this design. So a huge story that emerged last night from the Wrestling Observer newsletter was that there was nearly a backstage fight between Jade Cargill and Shayna Baszler. Apparently half a dozen people have confirmed that this altercation took place. It was a confrontation that was cooled down very quickly by management, with claims being made that it was Jade Cargill who had rubbed people up the wrong way and annoyed people in the Raw's women's division to the point where Shayna was ready to fight with her. Now, apparently there's also talk that people on the SmackDown side of things feel just the same way. Remember this match when Jade Cargill tapped out? The referee could clearly see it and just completely ignored it because it wasn't the planned finish. Well, maybe a lot of people are wondering if Shayna Baszler went a little bit too far with a chokehold, just to the point where, you know, I'm just teaching you a lesson kind of thing. Maybe that's all fan speculation. Obviously no proof of that, nothing in the report about that anyway. There seems to be a lot of details missing here, so we can't really make too many judgments, but a lot of people are wondering if this is one of the reasons why Jade was kept away for so long. It hasn't seemingly halted her momentum. WWE brought her back to a huge ovation in a huge storyline, and fans seem to care. So I'm not sure if that's going to actually damage her long term. Don't know. How can I not mention this? WWE has launched a new YouTube channel, WCW. Basically, this is the WCW Vault. This is content that was on the WWE Network, now being put onto YouTube for free, and it's like full events. You got Thunders on there, Nitros, you got pay-per-views. It's really fun. I love that WWE's doing this. There is your Saturday WWE news. Some fun stuff to really get your teeth into from this video, hopefully. If you are enjoying it, make sure you hit the like button. And if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button too. Turn on notifications. You'll never miss another upload. Share the video. That really does help it out. And I'll see you next time. Peace!